aptitude testing is done, the counseling sessions are held for the parents and for the children so that they know what all their child can do. Because otherwise, this information, this process of disseminating information is extremely important. Because if we don't do that, most people tend to fall into a pattern where they tend to do what everyone else is doing. And there's so much of marketing happening in this field of education that sometimes people get misled. So, the first and foremost focus is on the psychometric testing and the child's ability. Based on that, the school prescribes what is the right stream for the child.
Right.
Sometimes children are still fixated on certain streams because of, again, I would say, marketing gimmick or the hearsay that they have or lack of information due to which they take certain decisions. But then, when by the time they come to grade 11, they have their results, there is a better clarity. And we are
Right.
also offering a lot of skill subjects in our school. Like every child has the option of either taking up painting or music or even mass media, you know, for further for their skill enhancement besides the core subjects that they are studying in grades 11th and 12th.
Right. Ma'am, like you said, that at various stages and the large chunk of the student, they take decision and they are influenced by hear and say. So how does school, tackle this problem? Because this can create to a large level of problem, right? Because it is not as per the aptitude and the ability, or let's say the interest. When we
So
say
what we
here
do
is,
is
yeah,
what we
please,
do
ma'am.
in such a case is that we give the child an opportunity to pick up the subject that they want. But we keep it flexible that after term one, if they still want to change and they come back to another choice, we offer that flexibility to children that fine, you want to try it, do try, but here's another option available for you, and we will be able to help you transition into the other option if need be. So we keep it flexible in grade 11, at least up to term one, so that children are able to have a smooth transition and they do not even feel that they're being pressurized to do something.
That's really good that school keeps that in mind that students should not be pressurized and they should feel happy and comfortable about the choices they have been offered. Great. So
Yeah.
my next question is for Sapna ma'am. So welcome Sapna ma'am. Would like to see you now.
You. Thank you. Mm.
Yeah. So Sapna ma'am, this is a very basic question. Like you are also into education from last 26 year, and you have also come across a lot of situation where in the school ecosystem that student there's a mismatch of demand and supply, right? So every year there must be a certain percentage of student who may not get their desired stream, right? What do you feel that what is the reason of school offering something else, student is asking for something else? What is the reason behind this mismatch in demand and supply? Then I will have a subsequent question to ask. First, we would like to know this.
So the reason can be multiple reasons because first we have to understand that uh, there is one teacher or there are few teachers who are guiding many students, and the parent is the one who takes the decision. Ultimately, most of the parents only take the decision, and the child is in between the parent and the teacher, and he has to take his own informed decisions. At
Hmm.
times, it happens that the student gets caught up between the parent's dream and his own or her own vision. That's where I feel that decisions sometimes go wrong, and sometimes it is also like like a parent like me, where I felt that no, I should not be interfering in any of the decisions of my children or even the students, and I left it to them, and then realized that they were not very smart in taking decisions. In
Hmm.
11th standard, as a liberal parent, I only realized that I should have intervened little early for taking for the child to take the right decision. So such cases also happen where parents are very liberal that do whatever you want, and that's where students take wrong decisions because we as parents think that we should not interfere into their career. And sometimes parents are very strict also that we will inform you what to take. And there also we
Hmm.
go wrong, that we are so
Right.
rigid with the idea. So it's a very thin dividing line where decision making can go wrong.
Hmm.
However, it gets fixed at a very early age also, because
Hmm.
many students I know who have taken science in 11th, and by the time they reached 11th standard and they thought that they were not meant for science, and they even aptitude tests said that they will take science, but then they realized though they are not meant for it, and they
Hmm.
changed and they
Right.
repeated 11th. Many of them I know, and still they are continuing. And many
Right.
realized that okay, we did BCom honors, we did our 12th by BCom honors, but later we don't want to do anything to do with commerce. We were not,
Okay.
it was not meant to be. So
Hmm.
people like you who are guiding, coaching many students, they come into action, and then they say that okay, nothing has gone wrong, the world has not come to an end, there's still a lot of time you can change your decision. So that uh, flexibility is now coming a lot, which was not there earlier. But I don't know whether the principals who are here will agree with me that nowadays parents are also flexible, career coaches also flexible, the courses which are available are also flexible, and with this new education policy also, we can see that a lot of credit points are can get accumulated. The child can take a drop and decide what to do. So multiple things are happening where student is kept in mind. The student, his view is kept in mind, and decisions are informed decisions are taking place. Somehow we are just trying to what happens in Western culture, we are also going that way, that let the student decide. If there are students who have taken, who have done the engineering and then gone and done, now they are doing something else because engineering was just there, they didn't feel like doing
Right.
it. So such things are happening. And of course, we need people like you who are proactive, where school does not come in, because once the child passes out 12th standard, then he's in a big ocean of opportunities where they
Right.
actually need guidance because school handholds them. But once you're out
Right.
of the school, then you need informed career decisions by people who are actually doing it systematically. So that's what I feel.
Yeah.
There are
So
a
I
lot of
am very
factors in front.
in fact, I have a very important subsequent question that I would like to ask Priyanka ma'am only, right? So, Priyanka ma'am, do you feel that when there's a mismatch in demand and supply, right, then it also leads to a drop in admission or maybe a strength in admission? So, let's suppose there is a scenario that one student is not getting a desired stream in school A. So, the same student goes to school B for asking the same stream which he wants. Does that happen?
Well, this does happen. It used to happen a lot earlier, but now there's a lot of flexibility in schools.
Okay.
So this is lesser. But yes,
All right.
one odd case does happen because when the school doesn't believe that when the child and the school are not on the same page,
Hmm. Right. So,
then
ma'am,
that it
since
does happen. Yeah.
I'll
so
also
I will.
add here that it happens because nowadays many coaching centers have come up, and
Hmm.
they discourage that do not go to 11th and 12th, and you come to us and we will guide you well. So am I right, Priyanka? Because wherever,
Yes,
whichever
that is a
state I
big
go,
challenge. That is a
because they are
big
not getting
challenge. Yeah.
admissions at 11, 12, and they
Yeah.
said that we will tie up with the school, you will get your attendance,
Hmm.
you just come and give the exam, but you attend our coaching. So this
Yes.
is one thing which one should stop immediately, because how government will look into it, because wherever, whichever city I'm going, school is fed up with these coaching centers who are luring students not
Yeah.
to attend the school.
As I talked about these marketing, aggressive marketing being done by these centers because they promote the fact that you will be wasting your time in a school. And what we will do with you is that we will give you quality time,
Right.
your child, but they do not understand how negatively it impacts their social and emotional well-being because
I'm
they
sure.
they they are not taking care of any of those aspects. They are just looking at the fact that they get big numbers. These big numbers get enrolled with them for 2 years, and they are given various ideas and sold this idea that they can get into a wonderful engineering college, and there is no life beyond engineering. This or medicine, this thought is being promoted, and this impacts the children at that particular stage. It really impacts. It has lifelong impacts on their emotional and social well-being both.
So a very important point added by Sapna and Priyanka ma'am. Thank you for that. So of course, my point of view was there that if desired stream is not allocated, then definitely a student or the parent may seek for admission in the other school. But this is the another reason which we could actually tell the audience, which is right there, right? So now I would like to welcome Triloki sir. He's there with us. So Triloki sir, I have a question for you, very important and interesting question that what is the percentage of the student they ask for their stream which is unlikely to get, right? So is there any specific percentage on an average since you have experience of this last 33 years? So every year, if you could help us with certain numbers. Can you hear us, sir? Trilok sir, can you hear us? Okay. So, meanwhile, I would like to go to Geeta ma'am. And Geeta ma'am, if you can help us understand on the same question, that would you like to share the percentage of student every year which comes to school and request for a stream change, or let's say they say that we don't get the desired stream, right? Ma'am, you are on mute, I guess.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible now.
Round about 50% of the students, when they join class 11, they are not confident about their career. So,
Okay.
whatever stream their peer group is taking or whatever the parent is telling them, they take kind of stream. In my school, round about 10% of the students are there. They don't get
Mhm.
the desired stream because of any reason. Their
Okay.
aptitude is not like that, or we feel that child won't be able to excel in that subject, or
Mhm.
the child don't even know the career options these days. In our
Right.
time, 15 or 20 years back, if you see, there were counted number of careers, medicine or chartered accountant or banking, counted were there. Nowadays, 250 career options are available. And the thing is that according to new education policy, the CBSE has made it very clear that a child can take any subject from any of the stream.
Right.
So nowadays, as the changes are coming, nowadays the children know that with science also, we can take economics. With humanities also, I can take any other subject, even chemistry or physics also. So
Right.
nowadays, the children are more aware and we have to tell them the new career options. There are
Right.
out of 100 children, there are 10 children, those who are not agree with the stream being given to them. And they would like to move to the other schools usually.
Right. So that's a practical problem. Thank you, Geeta ma'am, for your answer. Now I have next question for Trilok sir. Now I can see him. Uh, so, sir, it is very important for a school to know and the leaders to know and the teachers, parents to know that it's a very cumbersome process. So, what do you think that how much time does a student or parent get to choose their stream and to time provided for them to kind of make a request for a change? So from stream awareness to stream allocation to stream change, how long this process takes in a regular course of action in school?
Namaskar, Ritesh. Namaskar, everyone. This is Trilok, and I was listening to others because I was driving. I have come to Dehradun, and in Dehradun, I'm getting a medical treatment. So I was on the way from the hospital, so I couldn't put my video on, but I was listening to all the things which were being discussed. I think, when we talk about stream allocation is done by the schools, keeping in mind the children's overall performance. At times, the school knows that the child may not have performed well but they know the child's potential, and accordingly the streams are being given. And when we give the streams, we make the children's voice and choice into it. We want the children to endorse it, even if they are not interested in what we are giving. Let them have the voice and choice. Let them have the say that no, I want to take
Right.
science only, even if he's getting 55%, and if he wants to take science, and if he's confident about science, you never know when the miracle can happen. So what
Right.
we do is, in this case, we do not shun the child straight away. We call the parent and the teacher to the school. We have a counseling session. We do talk. We tell the parents it's always better to be an original cow rather than a duplicate tiger. If the
Right.
child is going just because of the peer pressure, because my friend has taken science, so I also want to take science. If that is a pressure on the child, then I think then we need to look into it. But if the child is convinced that he can do it, then we need to give a little, we have to trust the child and give the, time bound time to the child that within 3 months you have to prove yourself. Otherwise, we are going to change. Something like this we have been doing in the past. And but now I believe with the NEP in force, I think we should not force the children to take any stream, because now the
Right.
bifurcations of science, commerce, humanities, everything has been, barriers have been broken by the NEP. They say the children can take psychology and can take physics, can take political
Right.
science and history, and can take mathematics and biology as well. So,
I'm sure,
the
but sir,
schools have
sir,
their
the mental
restrictions at the moment.
I'm sure the
Schools have
mental
the
barrier will
restrictions.
take time to kind of break from coming this stream to subject selection, right? Because we are in that ecosystem, and I would definitely, take the opinion of other leaders. While I have a very
Ritesh,
specific question, sir. Yeah,
Ritesh, just a minute. I was ending up. I was saying this is the NEP's recommendations. So I think schools have their own restrictions to give all the subject combination like the NEP recommendations. But yet, we can give the children the voice and choice. We can have the children taking the ownership of their decision. And the parents have to be a part of it. Parent, teacher, and student, if they become together, they become the Holy Trinity. Anything can happen, and we can take a right decision in the interest of the child. Yeah,
right,
you can go
right.
ahead.
So, sir, I have a very specific question. Like,
Hmm.
what do you think is the best time to start thinking about their stream? Because if you start this process at the end of class 10, it really become a very short window for student to and parents to kind of adopt. So what do you think, what is the best time to kind of start this process?
You see, we are having a system of having parental counselings from class 8th onwards, not exactly on science commerce, but we talk about the career counseling sessions, career planning by the
Wonderful.
children. And for that, we do invite our alumni who share
Oh,
their
wonderful.
roadmap, different alumni coming and sharing their roadmaps as to how they've achieved where what and where they've reached and what is the contribution of the school and how the school contributed in making them have a right decision at the right time. There are children who have been forcing us to give them science, but then when they were given the proper counseling and they've taken commerce, they're doing very well in different countries. At the moment,
Mhm.
as in the business scenario, they're doing very well. In the startups, they're doing very well. So I think the right decision at the right time is then needed. But from eighth onwards, eighth, ninth, and 10th, if we keep talking, keep having sessions, at least 3 sessions in a year, so that the
Right,
parent and students start thinking on it, even if they've not made the final decision, but at least we can just ignite them to start thinking. Otherwise, in India, the children hardly think even up to 10th also. Even after 10th, when they're allocated the streams, 70% children take what the school is giving. They don't even bother. They don't even go and ask. There's a 30%
right,
children who are adamant for science or commerce or humanities. They have seen the trend is changing. I've seen the toppers going for humanities today. I can see the topper children going for commerce with maths. But I can
right,
see the children with 50, 45%, 80%, 60%, 55% forcing the school to give them science, whereas the child doesn't have the potential as such. So I think, the trends are changing, but this 30% mindset also needs to be changed.
This is
And
my
that can be
favorite, na?
done only with
I
the
can attest.
counseling sessions with the parents, teachers, and students right from class 8th onwards. Yeah.
right. So, Priyanka ma'am, quickly, like I want your input for our audience. Like I'm sure that it also impact the ecosystem. So my specific question is, how is the student made aware of the stream selection process at the school? And followed by the question, like sir said, it takes 3 months time, or student even often come after even after allocation when the little syllabus is complete. So what is the impact on the school ecosystem once there is a request of stream change?
See, first of all, you're asking me that how do children come to know about various career choices?
Yeah, so matlab, I mean,
Definitely, the school ecosystem contributes hugely to how
right.
aware a child is about the availability of various career options. So, we start this process from grade 8 onwards. Our
Mhm.
students regularly have an interface with um, people from various fields, professional fields, and often we invite our parents, the parent community, to come and give a talk on a particular profession. So
Right,
that is one way of doing it. And then in ninth and 10th, they undergo psychometric testing. So they're able to connect their knowledge that they get from the psychometric testing about their own aptitude and what is the liking that they have developed through interactions and through exposure. So all these things contribute hugely in helping a child make a correct choice for himself as to or herself as to what the child wants to do. But quite often, there is a disillusionment as well. In grade 11, our school has introduced an internship program for students where students have been connected through school with the alumni of the school. These alumni are renowned um, people of the community from various fields of profession. So our children are spending 10 days during the winter break in various internships, and they're selected through a rigorous process of interviews by the school panel, and then they're sent for this internship so that they get some kind of an insight on how their chosen field of profession has, what kind of challenges their profession may bring forth to them while they are preparing for it. So this is another
right.
way of creating an exposure, and I feel the school ecosystem has a huge contribution towards
I'm sure.
developing the mindset of the child, because the school ecosystem is not just comprised of the teachers and the children, it's the parent community, the alumni, the reflections, and the people who come to school, where children get an opportunity to interact with luminaries of various professional fields. So all that contributes in making up the child's mind.
That's really great to know that you even give chance to your alumni to, and in fact, well mentioned by Trilok sir also, that you also involve your alumni to kind of enlighten the coming generation to help to choose their career choices. But ma'am, like I asked you the question that if student comes for a request change, or with a change to switch from a science to commerce or a commerce to science or vice versa, right? So, what is the impact on the school ecosystem in terms of academics, syllabus? How did school handle
See,
this situation?
we have to help the child transition, right? So we do not consider a choice made as a final choice. We understand that children undergo various phases, and they sometimes make a choice through because of a certain pressure, and when they realize that they are not um, ready for it, we help them transition. As I said, that we give them in grade 11, we specifically give them time till term 1, that if they want to switch a subject, they do. Yes, it does get difficult for a school to make adjustments, but we do, because there are time frames, there are days that when we keep for these kind of transitions for children to make. The teachers help them adjust and cope up with the syllabus. There are extra classes that are organized for these children, some compensations made, but our central thought is that the child must get accommodated and thrive in the given environment.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your valuable input. In fact, I remember Sapna ma'am mentioning about her own child. So, ma'am, I will ask the question, relevant question for you. Like, what is the role of a parent in stream selection? What do you think?
So the role is very selective, but at the same time very difficult. So as an educator, you feel sometimes you feel that you have to give your child full freedom to choose what they want. And as Priyanka ma'am said, that go for the psychometric test, go for all the methods which are there existing, and still just leave it to the child. But at times you feel that when it depends from children to children, because there are certain kids who are very focused. They know what they want from class 6 onward. That there are students who know that this is their future going to be and they follow that path. But 40% of them are not aware of what they want. They just want something good should happen. What is that something good? They are not able to make their mind. And same goes, sometimes the parents think that my child is very good in creative art or medical stream because he has love for that subject. But we are not able to identify that is it actually love for, like, for example, if somebody, barring anything with to do with history, that it's not a good subject. But when I was going through this transition phase for my children, so like they liked history. So I said, take history. But somebody said that if you take history, you'll not be able to make the career then. But today it is not the same. So it also depends what does that, like some parents, like you are into this counseling, they I know parents who have sent their children in 9, 10th, 11, 12, 11, 12, they want their child to do it from abroad, from somewhere abroad. But why? If you ask them, they say no, because there's exposure. Whereas some parents want that graduation should be done abroad. Some parents want that post graduation should be done abroad. Parents like me, they say that why go abroad? Why not study in India? So it's a very different from person to person what exactly the parent wants. It all depends on how much you read. For a parent, I would say that one has to read a lot to take informed decisions for their children, because the more we read, the more we will be aware of what is going. Because as Trilok sir said, that people follow their peer, that XYZ is going to King's College or say New York University, or somebody is going to Germany. So I'll also go because my friends are going. Because
Right,
everybody is going, so I will go. But
right.
forgetting that if we are paying, if the parent is, and the parents go through a lot of loan also. When we take that loan and when we send our children, we forget that we have to repay that loan. So as parents, we become blindfolded and we do what is the best for our children. But it all depends from person to person. Maybe what is right for me, maybe will not be right for somebody else. So it's a very personal choice what parents and how parents should guide their children. But I feel that the parents, before any parent guiding their child, should read a lot about their career options before they say that go ahead with this.
I'm sure the right fit is foremost needed, and accordingly, the career choices should take place, right? So, I have my next question to Trilok sir, who's even not keeping well, so I don't want him to hold for a long time, and he asked for an early leave. So we understand. Sir, I have a very small question, though we have discussed all the parameters from a schools and when it comes to, stream allocation. So do you think is there any other challenge which is left over and not covered by us in the entire process? So if you would like to highlight quickly on those challenges in the entire process of stream allocation.
Thank you, Ritesh, for such a wonderful question. First of all, my namaskar to Sapna ma'am. I just saw her. Sapna ma'am is an educationist par excellence, a very good
Oh my
friend,
God.
and it's so
Yeah, we are
happy to
good
see
friends.
her. So happy to see her. So,
We're old
in our
friends,
school,
20-year-old friends.
Good, good, great.
Ritesh, we have been working on the stream allocation. Before the stream allocation, we do a session. Every time we do two sessions before that with the
Mhm.
parents and the students to talk about the unconventional career options. Because here in India, the parents have engineer, doctor, IAS, or law. There are few. And on the fingertips, you can count those 8, 10 options which they have in their mind. So today
Right,
there are a lot of unconventional career options which are coming up, whether it is medical transcription or fashion designing, or things like the AI or machine learning, things like that, content writers. There's so many things which are coming up. We share with the parents, talk to them about all the 350 different career options which are unconventional today, which are available, which are highly rewarding, and which are paying much more than what the conventional career options have been paying to the children. First of all, we tell the parents that what do you want? Do you want that, you just fulfill your unfulfilled dreams through your children, and your parental verdict becomes a final word for the child? If that is the case, then child cannot be happy, because children love doing what they are passionate about. And
Right.
if they're not passionate about science, then you're forcing them. I have an example of a boy, Rahul Batra. He was my student in Dehradun in Scholars Home. He was forced to take science by his parents. He was a very good musician. Was very good with guitar, singing, and all. We told the parents didn't agree. They made him go for the FITGI coaching and all. He cleared for IIT also. He was in the Roorkee, IIT Roorkee. He was in the second year. There was a program for Sri Ravi Shankar ji. This boy sang so well, he became a hit within no time. Today you can Google down Rahul Batra, and you'll find there's a art of living singer, and he is paid up to 5 crore for 1 month session altogether. So he left within 2 years only. He left his engineering.
Right.
He did not complete, and see where he is. So I think what he is doing today is his passion. And when your passion becomes your profession, the work doesn't remain a work, it becomes a joyful experience. This we need to showcase to the parents through some anecdotal examples. We have to tell
Right.
them some examples, we have to talk to them, we have to involve them into the discussion. It has to be an interactive session altogether. I think then only the parents are accepting what we are talking to them. At least they start thinking. Otherwise, most of the parents want to live their dreams, unfulfilled dreams, through their children. The minute the child is born, they say, मैं इसको doctor बनाऊंगा, इसको engineer बनाऊंगा. Who are you to make the child a doctor or engineer? What the child wants to become, that is more important. So I think, to make the children think, like Sapna ma'am was saying, 60%, 70% children are not aware what they're going to do after 10. So I think we
Right.
need to sensitize as the schools. We need to do a lot of sessions. In fact, as I was saying, from 8th onwards only, career counseling sessions, or the career awareness sessions, rather than the counseling. Counseling becomes a little taboo for the parents also. We can say
Right.
career awareness sessions can be created in the school, so the parents know there are many more careers which they've never thought of, they never heard of it. I think that
Right.
is what is my take on it. Thank you so much. I'm just
Thank you,
coming
sir.
from the hospital, so I would just say bye bye to all my friends on the screen. Thank you so
So,
much. I really love being a part of it.
so before we say a goodbye to you, I would like to request everyone to kind of switch on their camera so that we can take a picture.
And do share this picture with us also on the WhatsApp, right?
Yes, sir, definitely. So goodbye, sir, and wish you a good health and a speedy recovery.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ritesh. Thank you so much. I'm in
Thank you.
Dehradun.
Speedy
I'll
recovery,
recover
sir. I
faster.
didn't
It's a
know you
very,
were unwell.
I'm not that unwell. It's a very minor thing, but I'm in Dehradun
ठीक
for the
है,
treatment,
ठीक है.
because that's
Enjoy
my
your holiday.
hometown.
Enjoy your
Right,
Right.
holiday.
Thank
right.
you. Bye-bye. Take care. See you sometimes.
Okay.
Sure. So next question, since Priyanka ma'am has shared about this, that they have worked with the student at large, with the Alumni Connect in terms of career discovery and career counseling as well. So ma'am, now we will talk about the representation from the student side. So there is one student who asked about a question, that how do I go about a stream selection? Should I consider my interest for subject or choose a stream as per my career goal? So these are two different things. One, I don't have interest in maths, and let's say I have interest in social sciences. So which stream should I take? But it is not aligned with my long-term career goal. So how do you see this, ma'am?
Well, I think you really need to introspect and see that why is a particular career your goal? Why are you choosing it? Is it your calling? Is it because you have interest, genuinely interest in that subject, or it is because of the popular belief that everybody has, that so and so profession will help us earn so and so money. Now, because if that is the reason, then one must not make that choice, because I feel that, as they say, that if you are capable of bringing excellence in something, money will automatically follow.
Follow.
Like it was said in Three Idiots.
Right.
Excellence के पीछे भागो, सक्सेस झक मार के तुम्हारे पीछे आएगी. So
Right.
सक्सेस, आप सक्सेस को चेस कर रहे हो या एक्सेलेंस को चेस कर रहे हो, पहले क्लैरिटी इसमें लेके आओ, that what is it that you are looking for. So if you feel that you can excel in a subject which you are not passionate about and which you are not studying with great interest, then maybe you can create a career out of it. But if you really don't have an interest in that subject, but you're just studying it because you feel that you will be able to get a job in it, it'll be a hard task and a tough call to take. So look for the subject that interests you, which brings out the best in you, and then search for the prospective careers that subject stream can offer you.
Perfect. So there is an alignment which is really important before you choose your subject or stream. Perfect. Thank you, Priyanka ma'am, for your answer. Now I will go to Geeta ma'am. Geeta ma'am, I have a question for you that a student asked that I haven't chosen career as yet, and I'm uncertain about what I will pursue in future. So which stream will be a good option for me? So
If
he's a confused kid.
chosen any career till now, the best thing is the child should assess himself. He must
Okay.
learn about himself first of all. He should find out what values, what interest, what kind of soft skills and aptitude the child has. And with the combination of this, the child should see the personality traits also. There are certain careers, occupations are there which are good fit for a particular person, and it may be completely inappropriate also. So before choosing a stream, the child should have a knowledge of himself properly. Only after that, the child should find out the stream. Then only the child will be a successful person.
Right. Thank you so much, ma'am. I have another question, a quick question from Sapna ma'am. So, Sapna ma'am, though you have briefly answered, or one of the panelists have briefly answered this, like nowadays, top scorer are also opting for humanities and the low scorers are wishing for sciences. Are parents able to absorb this fundamental change? Because in the old times, I remember, अगर अच्छे marks आते हैं तो आप science लो. If you are moderate, then you go for commerce, and if you are like there with the low marks, then you
So
you are only
yeah.
left
So
with
it is.
humanities.
It
So
is very
I
well to an extent accepted by tier 1 cities. But when we
okay,
go to interiors, tier 2, tier 3 cities, not everyone is open for this change. People still have this, that, and I'll not quote the schools and the cities, but the more interiors you go in India, they are still with this, that you have to take a particular subject for a particular degree and get into a particular stream, and that's how life begins. They are not ready to accept that change. What I feel with this new education policy, when it is coming to implementation, such webinars and seminars are happening for parents, and it's not only for teachers, more, and it should increase also. The parents' webinar should increase, their symposium should increase, where parents will, change is happening, but it's gradual at a lower level in interiors. Maybe
right.
in metro cities, its transition is faster, but still there's a long way to go, I'll say.
Priyanka ma'am, what is the acceptance of this at your in your experience? What you have seen? What you would like to share? Like acceptance to this new normal of low scorers are going for sciences and the high scorers are going for humanities.
See, this is the issue, is that marks are often a reflection of not just our interest, but our skills and abilities also. So negating the marks obtained and giving a stream also creates a disillusionment to some extent. There can be one odd cases where the marks obtained are not reflecting completely the aptitude and the skills, but if there is a certain skill of application required, and that is not there in the child, he may be scoring less marks. So if I give him science as per his choice, that's okay. But the problem is that the skill of application is missing. And when we
Right.
come to grade 11, we cannot build those skills. These are some basic skills that have to be built up to grade 9, right? Because as the content increases, you are focusing a lot on the application of the skills. So completely negating the presence of marks is also not very advisable. But yes, if somebody feels that this child will be able to do in spite of less marks, there are so many other ways of assessing and giving a chance to the child. But then the options have to be kept open, and complete information to the parent is extremely important. A interface with the parent is extremely important, so that the parent understands that there is no stigma in not having science, no stigma in not having maths, but what can be stigmatized is the fact that you are struggling with a subject, but you're studying it because you're being pressurized to study a particular subject.
Very well articulated, ma'am. In fact, I'm not sure that how often this percentage has changed in last few years in tier one city also, like Sapna ma'am was saying that this has been widely accepted in tier one, but still we are really worried about the percentage, right? So I will go to today's last question, and which is for Priyanka ma'am only. So ma'am, you know that these days influence works at large, okay? Be it peer pressure, be it a parental pressure, and then the pressure by the extended family members, cousin, or we often say, we use this term called Sharma ji ka beta, So this happens, right? But we are witnessing another, influence by of social media. There are a lot of bloggers, vloggers, motivational speakers we come across. That sounds really fascinating. But like many of the panelists today spoke about the interest aptitude part, like you said, uh, you will take science, but application of science will there a kid can really struggle. So how can these influence? What do you think about these influences first, and how can this can be moderated for school children?
See, it's very important that if we cannot negate the presence of influences in today's life. They are present everywhere. They are present in an adult's life. They are present in a child's life because social media is definitely accessible, right? Now, here comes the role of the school, the ecosystem the school has created, how much awareness school has created in their children and the parent community in making a choice that is aware, a choice that can be enlightening. So, who you choose to follow always remains my right, isn't it? But then I should have that judiciousness to follow the right kind of advice. There is so much advice available, but then the cognizance has to be developed that how to understand that what choice is right and how will it work well for me. Therefore, the school's duty is to constantly have a dialogue and have an interface present both for the children as well as for the parent community. Simply sensitizing the child doesn't help. We need to have parent as an equal stakeholder in understanding how we are educating, why we are educating, and what we are doing with the children. And if this journey is taken very well right from grade nursery up to the senior classes, by the time comes when the child has to see what to follow and what not to follow, how to seek advice, there is enough awareness in the child and the parent. And then the chances of going wrong are hugely reduced.
Right. So thank you so much, Priyanka ma'am. Before we conclude our session, we'll just pick up one quick question, and any one of you can volunteer to answer this question. So we have a user asking, my son wants to become actor. For this, he is aiming to graduate in journalism and mass communication. Now, question comes to the selection of subject. We thought a lot on selecting humanities, but finally we chosen commerce just to cover the risk in case he doesn't become an actor. So then he is some commerce, business knowledge, what street should my son have chosen in the current situation?
I would like to answer. I mean,
Yes.
see, again, I would request the parent to see what his child does well. If he genuinely has an interest in mathematics and and his computational ability is good, then definitely go for commerce. But if the child is lacking these two abilities, then do not push the child to take commerce. Pick up subjects that he can excel in, he can study with good interest and articulate well for that subject. That is extremely important, because these things, how well you do in your class, how well you are able to grasp the content, how well you're able to convey the ideas of the subject in with your peers, goes a long way in building up the self-esteem of the child. If the child
Right.
is struggling with mathematics, what risk will you be able to cover by allowing him to take commerce? You are pulling
Right.
down his self-esteem. Risk is when the person has lack of belief in his abilities. That is a risk. Don't take that risk. Let your child build on his confidence, and that confidence comes when you excel in whatever you are doing. You will excel in something if you do it over and over again. When will you do it over and over again? When you are understanding, when you have the ability to do problem solving for that particular area. So
Right.
that is a risk. I would advise the parent not to take that risk of damaging the self-esteem and the confidence of the child. Anything else can be countered.
I
So
will add
that's
to
such
it
a
that when commerce, he's taken commerce, so he should just, as Priyanka said, that excel in commerce. Doesn't matter what will happen, because career is, maybe you can take humanities, science, or anything, or even if you don't study. If he has to become an actor, he should just excel in acting skills also with that course, whichever he's taking. But I fully agree. Don't undermine their confidence, because self-confidence is very, very important. You can be in any field, any syllabus, any curriculum, any board, any subject, but that is very important, I'll be. With that, I like to sign off because I'm meeting some other place. So
yeah.
thank you so much, Priyanka. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
And
you.
love you.
So
Nice meeting you.
we are in fact concluding the session only, ma'am. Thank you so much, both of you, to answer and answer such wonderfully this question. And before we end the session, I would like to pay my sincere thanks to all the panelists to spare the time and enlightened our parents and the audience at YouTube. And I'm sure that we'll keep doing such session with the help of such amazing leaders across the industry. And like the message for today is just start introspecting as early as possible. Do not burden yourself, speculate, discover, and then take the right decision. And I'm sure, like all the leaders mentioned, that schools are working pretty hard to help students and the parent community to make an informed choice. Like Priyanka ma'am also said that they are in fact wonderfully helping with the help of the alumni community. So this is great to know such wonderful initiative by the leading school in the city, right? So we'll keep coming with such session. With this, I would like to sign off. And lastly, thank you everyone. Thank you so much for spending time and coming today to deliver for the parents. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.